Hi.
Hello, hello. Hey, 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 Sugar Plum. Hi, Elizabeth. Hello, hello.
Hello, both. Hello. It's awesome to see people already here.
Yes, yes, yes. So,
Hello.
full
Hello, both.
disclosure, this is not a sale. We will not be showing anything tonight. Just hanging out,
Yeah,
talking about reselling.
something new we wanted to try out, and we're really excited about it. So I hope you guys find it interesting and exciting too.
Something we're both passionate about on the daily.
Yes.
And something that gives us a little bit of a side hustle, some cash, extra cash, something that, you know, with consistency, momentum, and the right encouragement can take you really far.
Yes, agreed. And finding a community or, a support within the communities to continuing it, like it's hard to be an island. So
Yes.
it's nice to have friends in the community. And, I don't know if you feel like this, Devin, but like some of the, my parents, my boyfriend, people, like, I love to talk about reselling all the time, but since they're not like into it, you feel like, is it really the same talking to them or talking to someone else who gets what you're saying,
Right. Right.
So it's kind of nice to talk to like-minded people. I guess
I 100% agree. 100,000%. It kind of makes you feel like, oh, okay, like, because they don't get it. They do in a sense where they have a general understanding. Right. But talking to someone who knows is just, it's really awesome.
And they're like still very supportive, right? Like,
yes. Well, of course, anytime you hear that cha-ching, it's that whole, hey,
who doesn't, who is not supportive of the cha-ching, right? Like, it's just the best.
For sure.
Yeah.
So we have a little bit of a challenge for everybody, or at least something. We're trying to come up with a catchy name for this segment that we'd like to continue to do. So any ideas, thoughts would help us out immensely. We'd like to continue to do something like this. I'm always for education and knowledge. The more I help people, the more information I gain, which in turn helps everybody else because I just love to share. So,
yeah. And that's, it's part of the learning and growing together. I don't know. I love Reseller Roundup. Man, Elizabeth's just firing with you don't know what we've been through the last couple days trying to think of ideas of a name.
How many family members we've looped into this.
Like, please help us think of something.
Trying to find inspiration anywhere.
Yeah. Because we want it to be like, if it takes and y'all like it and stuff, to have it be sort of a recurring, like Devin said, thing we do every once in a while. And so got to give it a name.
Yeah, exactly.
It needs a name. So
I figured this time, since this is the beginning of the first chapter in our series, that we would talk about the beginning, maybe tips and tricks, what we like to resell, what we do resell, and what we resell well. So why don't you go ahead and start and talk about your beginning?
Okay. Yeah, since maybe not everybody who watches knows my beginning as much as they maybe know yours from following you. I've been reselling for a full 2 years or so. I started because we were gonna move or something. We didn't end up moving, but we were getting ready, thinking we might move. And so I was like, oh, I gotta clean out my stuff, right? I don't want to move stuff that I don't need anymore. So I went through all my clothes, and I had heard of Poshmark from years ago. I want to say when I was in undergrad or maybe even high school, I had bought a pair of Coach sunglasses off of Poshmark. And I didn't list anything at that time, but I had purchased something from Poshmark way back in the day. And so I had kind of had an idea of what it was. And I was like, I think you can sell stuff on there. And so I looked it up again, and I was like, okay, great. I just need to post pictures of these clothes that I don't want anymore and make money. And I didn't know a thing about, brands, because I don't have very nice clothes, a lot of Target, some Forever 21, very fast fashion
Yeah.
things, this was a couple years ago. And I didn't know about taking good photos or anything like that. I tried my best with taking photos like on the back of my door or on my bed. And like, I think I posted like 20 things the first day or whatever.
What?
But like, this is how kind of anal and perfectionist I can be about things. I posted them and then I started like getting more into it and learning, and then realized I didn't like any of those pictures. So I redid all 20 pictures for each item, right? I redid all 20 items pictures. And then like 2 days later, I decided I didn't like those either. So I redid them again until I found, clean white backgrounds and stuff like that. So I like busted my butt for like very little. I looked at some of my first sales.
I gotta pause you and I gotta say thank you so much to Deanna for the super chat. Super duper appreciate you. Thank you so much for trusting us to give you some knowledge. So thank you.
So sweet.
Thank you. And hello to everyone who's coming in. So
sorry, I've just been like, I'm already just so jazzed. I'm ranting away.
No, but it's so good though, because it gives people an idea that literally you can make a sale and it doesn't take a white background. Do you know what I mean? Like
right.
You can start off with having stuff like that and it'd be okay. So how many times did you end up redoing them?
I think I redid them like a solid at least 3 times for like every item. There was one, the day I think it was my second time redoing them, I had added in a new shirt, and I remember it was the fastest. It was like my first sale or second sale or something, but they bought it like minutes after I posted it, and it was a Lululemon shirt that was too small for me. And I am so mad I underpriced it significantly because I did not understand the resale value of any brands yet. I posted it in pretty much brand new condition for $18, and I regret that every day. I would never.
Okay, so Lululemon then, what is that?
So Lululemon is a like activewear brand. Okay. It's a expensive, they make mostly workout clothes, but leggings, sports bras, jackets, and things like that. This is like a long sleeve fitted shirt.
Now, what would you list it for?
At least probably that exact same shirt in that condition, $35.
Okay.
And Lululemon has lost a little bit of its resale value. Like a couple years ago, it was reselling for a lot more, and now it's a little bit less. But I still, if I find it, I will definitely pick it up every single time.
Every single time.
Every single time. And if it's too expensive, like I was at a thrift store, I found a pair of Lululemon leggings, which I don't own any because if you buy it at the store, they're really, really expensive. And or wanted $20 for them. And I was like, well, they're my size, so maybe I'll just buy them for myself because that's not the best price to flip. So I just kept them for me. But I will pick it up pretty much if it's not really expensive. Anyway.
So that was your first sale then? You remember your first sale?
I think it was technically my second, but it was what kind of got me hooked because it sold while I was taking pictures of other items. And so it was like that. Oh my God, that was so fast. And I love it.
Awesome. Hi, peace out. Hey, Stone Muse. Hey, Elizabeth.
Hi, everyone.
That's why I don't work out. The clothes are too expensive. Here. I mean,
not work out.
That's why I didn't know. Fair enough. What was my first sale? Much like you, Kelly, I started out on Poshmark. I went from being an office job, like a 9 to 5, to like a mom. So I had office clothes, I had cardigans, I had, dress pants, I have, whatever. And I was like, I know these could be worth some cash. I'm just gonna I'm gonna test my luck. I saw the commercials on the TV for Poshmark, so I'm like, why not? I didn't even have a computer. I just had my phone, and that's how I started everything. That's how I started YouTube. That's how I started, just my phone. And my first sale on Poshmark was a pair of Torrid pants that had a hole in them, and I
Nice.
made sure I pictured that hole like 8 pictures.
There's a hole, guys.
Yes. And I think I sold it for like $12.
Yeah.
And which I was just shocked as all get out that anyone would want to purchase it. But I mean,
Torrid is one of my best selling brands to this date. It's a great brand to resell.
It's great. I love it. I think the store personally is too expensive, but hey, if I've purchased many Torrid leggings on Poshmark myself personally, so but awesome. That's a good segue into what did you have a camera to start out? Like, what are some tools that you use to start out?
My phone. I still take all of my pictures on my phone. I have a very nice, very expensive DSLR camera, like the one with like the big fancy lens and everything that I would do for like nature photography that I sometimes dabble in. Which I have not busted that camera out in a long time, but I don't use that for Poshmark or eBay. You don't need anything that fancy. Like, do not think you need to go out and buy some expensive equipment. I just use my phone and my bed to take pictures, like on my mattress.
Honestly, same. That's how I started out a lot of it. I even had like a little tack, and I'd hang a hanger and tack it up, and I'd open up all of my windows, and I'd have the natural light hitting. I didn't have a light. I still to this day don't have a ring light. I just told Kelly right before we started, I got a light box. Ew, it is hard for me now. That was $40, full disclosure, on Amazon. And I did buy like, I think the medium size one, because you can get, I know Bolo Buddies has like a huge one. And even
you can get one that you can sit in.
Yeah.
Like photo booth, like huge ones.
Like
ginormous.
I think I saw the first time I saw one big like that was on Bolo Buddies. And then the other time was on Pirates Auction. He just kind of like, when you could put your whole shoulders in it, I'm like, And for those of you who don't know, a light box or a picture box basically gives you the ability to black out everything, all of your surroundings, and white it out, so you can have a clear, crisp picture. Mine happens to have LEDs on top. I can change the settings. Like I just wanted the basic but bigger. And man, oh man, I'm not limited now to just taking pictures in the morning where my natural light comes in. So it's definitely not something I started with, because phones nowadays have the capability of even being better than like a camera.
Oh yeah. Like I just got a new phone because my old one broke around Thanksgiving, and the camera on this thing is amazing. Like the newer phones that are coming out now have great cameras on them. And I was like, oh
yeah.
Like it takes pictures way better than my old phone did. So
Hello. Thank you everyone for hanging out and joining us. Thank you. Like we've mentioned in the beginning, this is just something that we're trying out, and we challenge all of you to help us come up with a fun, exciting name for this series. We have racked our literal brain, called in family members, still are like,
yeah, we haven't found the name yet. And so if you guys think of something catchy for our little reseller hangout chat sessions that we want to keep doing, you let us know.
Exactly. So we're kind of just talking about our beginning. And if you have any questions, please, we'd love to hear it.
If you're reselling, have questions about reselling, want to get started reselling, any of that.
So on that topic, you first started out on Poshmark then, or was it another? So you started out on Poshmark.
Started out on Poshmark, and I did Poshmark for, I want to say almost a full year.
Okay.
Or I'm trying to think. I started selling. I could go back and look at my first sale, but I know I started eBay exactly a year ago because I started January 14th, which is actually today, was my very first sale on eBay of 2020.
Oh my gosh.
And so I was reselling just on Poshmark for a while. And then I thought, okay, this is fun and this is cool. And I branched off to Mercari, maybe a few 6 months in, something like that. I then started cross-listing to Mercari because I was afraid of eBay. It seemed intimidating and too much. And, you know, this was one thing that we were going to kind of bring up. If you could go back and tell yourself one thing, it would be, don't be afraid of trying new platforms, because eBay has been way better for me than Poshmark and Mercari combined.
Yeah.
So I regret not starting eBay sooner.
It's kind of like you never know if you don't know sort of thing. The worst thing, you know, at least I tell a lot of people, is if you list something high, if you're afraid to list it higher. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? You make a sale, like,
right. Someone's do an offer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a lot of this is breaking, you know, barriers, breaking down your boundaries and going there, trying out a new thing, see what works for you. So crazy. I didn't start hearing about Mercari and a lot of other sites until, I want to say, like maybe 4 months ago. And
no way.
Poshmark was the first place that I started selling on. And same as you, I was very timid to do eBay. I've made several purchases from eBay in the past. All have been terrible.
Yeah.
The quality that I was getting, I was like, how are people getting away with this?
Yeah.
And
I've had those too.
Is this the quality that I would want to represent? No, like, gosh. But Bolo Buddies, and it'll stick with me always, is Poshmark. People on Poshmark who sell on Poshmark are going to buy on Poshmark. People on Mercari who, you know, sell on Mercari. Same with every single platform. So she says, cross post, and I'm like, I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Nuts.
Give it a shot. So how long before you started listing to eBay, or was eBay your second place, or Mercari that you started crossing to?
Poshmark was my first one, and I was consistent, like shared, like morning, noon, and night, like consistently, like gross, until I hit like the ambassador, which was,
it's not a thing.
It's
or
not,
like changes.
Like, okay, woohoo! Like, no, it doesn't matter. So, my next place I sold was Etsy, to be honest with you. I love Etsy. I'm probably one of the only people that I know of, at least, and I'm sorry for my camera shaking, that loves to sell on Etsy. I think it's so thorough. I love the idea that you can set your own store policies. I've just had 10 out of 10 awesome with selling and purchasing.
That's awesome. I've purchased a lot from Etsy, and unlike your eBay experiences, my quality of products has been amazing. Everything I've ever bought from Etsy has been awesome. I can't sell on Etsy to save my life, though. I don't know. I need to give it more time, I think.
I think it's the same thing. And, you know, you and I talk about often what, you know, who we follow, you know, social media and people who tell their experiences and their stories. I was watching in the beginning of this whole thing, American Arbitrage, which if people are looking on people to follow, he does like little TikTok videos. That's how he kind of went viral, just in the thrift store, talking about what things work for him and how it sells, what he actually ended up making. He was talking about being consistent. Whether you're just listing 1 a day, 3 a day, 5 a day, you'll stay within the algorithm. And that's what I end up trying to do for Etsy all the time.
Yeah.
Just list, even on eBay too, once a day.
Consistency is so key when it comes to reselling in general. I think whatever, like, and he makes a great point. There isn't, people always ask, well, how many things do you have to list a day to make sales or whatever? And don't give yourself, like, if you don't list 20 things, you're a failure. Don't set yourself up like that. But whatever you do that works for you and your schedule, try and be consistent at it. Like today, I've listed this many things today. So it's, every day is different with what you can get done, and you just try your best, but consistency pays off for sure.
And I on that, watching other people, YouTubers or other people who resale, someone said something in a video that I was watching that, you're your own boss, you set your own hours. And she asks herself every single day, would you fire yourself today? And I'm like, duh, zang. That was the light bulb for me that really I needed that for sure.
Yeah.
I need to start reselling. I have things, vintage items, costume jewelry, some clothes and boxes, totes stashed everywhere. How do you store and keep track of your inventory?
That's like my favorite topic.
Listen. Okay, Elizabeth, you be careful. After I vowed, my New Year's resolution was to get organized. And thanks to Miss Kelly.
Oh, shucks.
And her app. Amazing. Thrifter Scorecard is how I keep my inventory of items. I have a little, and for me, my items are jewelry. So it's not items like that. She will obviously be able to tell you a lot differently how she keeps her inventory, but I have what they call nuts and bolts storage containers. And I keep a category and where everything goes. So when I make a sale, I put up Thrifter Scorecard. I go into my inventory, I type in the product name, and it'll tell me where I kept the item. Ship it
like the little drawers, right?
Yes.
Like
one through however many, and then since it's a nuts and bolts, it has a divider. I can either say A or B and go from there. So I'm meticulously organized because I've mentioned it before. I've had to cancel a few sales because I couldn't find my items because I had so many.
Yeah. And the jewelry is hard because like you put it all in a big bag, right? They're so small, and then you're just like, where is it? In this bag for clothes, it's harder because they are bulkier pieces. You have to put them somewhere. It's not as easy to just throw them in a bag. But that's really cool. I kind of wish my items were easier to store physically in my home, because you should talk about like the boxes and totes. I have a Rubbermaid, like, I don't know, what are they, like 66 gallon? I'm making that up. I don't know. They're like the big moving ones,
Yeah.
The big plastic ones.
The ones that are on sale at Costco right now, you can get like a top and bottom for like $8.
Yeah, like, yes, those with the plastic. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 scattered in various places throughout my home. I'm in a 1-bedroom apartment, so I have no extra reselling room or anything. And then I have in this closet and in my closet in my bedroom, like at Target, which is where I got those like plastic little shelves, like cubbies almost, that you like snap together.
Yes.
So they're just little cubes. They're not very big. They're much smaller than the totes, but I have A, B, C, D. So 4 each, just vertical, and those hold some items, but not as many. But yeah, that's how I physically store my stuff.
Another thing that also someone had mentioned is if you're sitting on something and it's been that long, donate it back or donate it.
Relist it first is
right,
what I would do.
Right. If you've relisted it, or if it's like just be realistic with yourself, I guess, for me. So I have to tell my husband, and my husband has to tell me, like, oh, well, we can flip this. How long is it going to take for us to go through that process?
Which is a really good point. And what my 2021, one of my 2021 goals is of sourcing. Oh, hey. Sourcing with intention. So not picking up everything that you can make money on, because eventually, you could make money on almost anything in the thrift store. If you really think about it, almost everything you could flip. You may not make great money, or you might even lose money, but you could technically post everything for sale. But is it worth your time to photograph or clean it up, whatever you got to do for the item? And then does it even excite you to list it? If you're not excited to list it, you're never going to get around to it. It's going to be the thing that's last that you're dreading. So
exactly. My mom, of course, I do this with her a lot of times. But when in the very early stages of Moonstone Mamas, we would go to the thrift store and we'd find ourselves looking at different items, the clothes, the whatever. She said, don't wander, stay in your lane. And with that being said, stick to one thing. That way you can become a pro at it. You can go and look and say, okay, I know what brands are best, what brands resell for me. So I stuck with jewelry. I don't, I still have a purse that I bought, and this was probably a year ago, that's still listed. And yeah, it could sell tomorrow, but I've, people can dabble in each one, but keep a realistic, anchor, I guess.
Yeah. Everybody has the thing that they like to sell, what category of item just makes you happiest to sell. And you're going to be very well versed in that one thing, which is always good to have. And it's always kind of that place you can come back to.
Sell it during a live sale. I guess I could. I don't know. I'm
doing an audio play.
Yeah, I would try and keep the selling items in separate area and bag and number them, and keep track of the item number would be selling. Would actually include, a lot of people, if the funky digits are behind the item title, that's usually their SKU number for their item.
Yeah.
That's where they find their stuff. But, I'm fortunate in a sense that I found you and your app, and this is the way. I just need to stay organized like that.
So. Yeah, it's good for, because I was using just an Excel spreadsheet of item name, cost, what platforms it was listed on, SKU, like A1 or whatever. And that's basically what the app will do for you, plus a heck of a lot more. But the basics of keeping track of that stuff, so you don't actually have to list it or put that in your description or title or whatever if you don't like, some people are very OCD with making things look, organized or whatever. Some people don't like to put them in their titles or whatever. So,
because it's your store. It's exactly how you want to see it. It's your house. Like if you want it a certain way, it's the way it is. And like you said, there are other ways that you could do it. You don't have to follow the, the app or whatever. It's whatever makes you happy. And it's hard to break that mold in the beginning, but once you get to that certain point, then one moment, my darling. So yeah. So, gosh. All right. Hold on. The question of the evening. If you could go back, what's the one thing you'd tell yourself in the beginning?
For sure, don't be afraid to try new platforms or branch out. That doesn't necessarily mean the first day you start selling, sell on every single platform, because I think that's biting off a bit too much too soon. Like, at least for me, if I had started on Poshmark, Mercari, eBay, whatever, all on the same day, I would have been very overwhelmed. But I did let fear keep me from eBay longer than I wish it did. So that's something that I would tell myself of, I heard a lot of other videos, on YouTube of people being like, eBay's intimidating, the shipping is complicated or whatever. And honestly, I don't find it that complicated. And so I wish I had just dove in sooner. I'm going to throw my app in.
Yes, please do. I meant to put it in the description, but
that's okay.
Yes, Thrifter Scorecard. I have it listed up on my little tab top here, so that's one of my go-to. I always keep open. So most definitely. What platform do you find the best to start selling on?
I think it depends what you're selling.
Very true.
What do you think?
As far as, because there's so many aspects of it. I think the big thing is it depends on what you're selling. If you're selling a t-shirt, probably Poshmark?
Maybe. I think Poshmark and Mercari those platforms handle most of the complicated parts for you. As far as shipping, I guess, would be what is the most complicated part of a sale, is the shipping and the money. And I think Poshmark is probably the easiest in that department. There's really only one shipping option. The buyer will pay unless you discount the product. But if you something, they are agreeing to pay $7.12 or whatever. So I think Poshmark for me was a good place to start because it gets your feet wet to understand how to do the whole reselling thing and get your kind of system down. And then Mercari is very similar to Poshmark, but there's a few other options. You can ship on your own, or you can use and then I feel like that's a good segue into an eBay or Etsy where you're kind of responsible for the shipping yourself.
Yeah. So. I mean, the one thing about it is now they don't just go, here you go, that's it. At least they'll walk you through it. They'll tell you how to do, it's not and of course, people who have YouTube or people who even have blogs about it will tell you the ways that you can save. A lot of times, I had people who came on my Poshmark and said, hey, did you know that you can go to the post office and get free boxes to ship your Poshmark items in? You don't have to buy a bubble mailer. You don't have to buy all of those things. You print out the label, or even sometimes go to a local posting service. They'll print out the label for you for 10 cents. You don't even have to have a printer. Because when I started out, I didn't.
I didn't have a printer either. I went to FedEx and printed all of my labels, and that printer off of Let Go for $20. And now I bought a thermal printer, which I do love. But can I use my PayPal account to manage incoming payments? Depending on what platform, eBay is starting to move away from PayPal. So pretty much, all the platforms, I guess, I kind of think of it like a wallet, right? You make a sale and then that money is stored in your Poshmark wallet. And then when you can cash it out to your bank account. Yeah. Or you can use that money to buy things on Poshmark. Right. So it's kind of this limbo space. And that's kind of how the direction eBay is moving with managed payments. Right.
You have to research the best demographics that appeal to the type of item. Well,
unless it's super nichey.
Not really. I mean, when you throw it out there, you have the option to go global. So, I'm talking eBay, for example. I know Poshmark's only limited to the US if you do, sign up in US, but
They have Canada now.
yes, but I don't think you can buy. You have to like switch over. Like
yeah, we can sell to each other, but like you can be a user in Canada. Yeah, right. It's not like international sales, though. You're right.
So I think, and I don't know about Dad's gonna be home soon. Don't you worry. And I mean, yeah, these questions are so amazing. And let's see, what was the other one that we had? That's what holds me back. eBay, having to do my own shipping. Really,
it's not horrible. I was terrified of it, but they, like Devin was saying, they really walk you through, they tell you. The one thing that was surprising to me with eBay, which I guess if you don't sell on eBay, maybe you never think of, but when someone says they want to buy your item, they don't necessarily have to pay right then. Like that was a surprise to me. So you can send out offers like you would on Poshmark, and you can be like, hey, everyone who liked my item, here, I'm giving it to you for 10% off, whatever. And that person can say, sounds great, I want to buy that item. And they'll click accept offer. They don't have to pay right then. Like it doesn't automatically charge them. And they have to like then come back and physically go through the payment process on their end. And they have like 3 days to do that. And so that was a surprise to me being new to eBay. I was like, how did you buy this but not pay yet? And it's something annoying.
that could be, especially if you cross post, because let's say you accept the bid for that item or that offer, you go into your other platforms and you take it down, and you're limiting yourself now to hopefully if that person's paying. So that is like that's a whole episode in itself.
That is. So yeah, you wouldn't want to ship the item until they pay. I guess that's where I was going with that on eBay is you have to eBay will tell you, okay, they paid, now go and print a shipping label, and eBay will, walk you through how much does it weigh, which then I had to go buy a scale because with Poshmark, you get up to 5 pounds, and I wasn't selling anything more than that. Incoming.
Yeah. Okay. No. Thank you. Sorry. And that's good. Too, their impeccable aim, them children, is this allows us to be, if you're a night owl, you could stay up and list. There is no, 9 to 5 on this, which is great. Being a mom where I'm the one that stays at home and takes care of the kids, I know what I can knock out when they're sleeping and, not. So, this is, fantastic. And yes, be real. It's trial and error. That literally 100%. Like Kelly mentioned in the beginning, selling something and you think about it, like literally on the daily, you're like, oh, I sold that too low, or
like trying to error with my pictures, right? Like I took pictures and I was like, that doesn't look good. And so I did it again and again. And you just got to find what works best for you.
And my little cartoon person. Yeah. So, thank you so much. I got inspiration from Tiffany. Tiffany's Cool Finds with her intro is so banging that I was just like, I want a little cartoon character of me. So I actually asked around, and she got hers off of Fiverr, her intro and outro. And so that's where I ended up getting mine at Fiverr. And, they do everything there as far as branding, YouTube intros, hiring someone to list on Poshmark, list on eBay, all of those things.
For sure. I literally just had a Zoom meeting at 9, 10 o'clock last night from someone on Fiverr that I needed to do something for me, but it's global. They were located in Pakistan. So we had to, Zoom at a very strange time.
Yeah. And that was the same with that. I do light graphic design for future reference.
That's awesome, Laura.
That right there, is a lot of it too. Like you mentioned, redoing the pictures. are you willing to purchase something with someone who has a picture that looks like they snapped it and then moved their camera hecka fast?
Right.
Or, you know,
dark or like on their dirty floor with like socks and stuff. Like no one really wants that, you know?
Exactly.
I know.
So yeah, and thank you for the people who are in here. Like we mentioned, this is our first time. This is something that I think has been in the works for me, and meeting Kelly and realizing how polar opposite we are in selling, as far as you sell clothes and jewelry, and I dabble in jewelry. It's so awesome to have multiple perspectives, and I really wanted to come together to educate. That's what I wanted Moonstone Mamas to be about. So I'm just so awesomely happy to share this.
It's gonna be like, I'm just so awesome.
Nope.
But you are just so awesome. But
oh God, thank you. Sorry, I have to adjust myself here.
Oh no, you're good. I didn't want to skip Be Real's question about something about why eBay is moving away from PayPal or something.
I think it's.
I saw it, but I don't know where it went.
Charlie Q posted, "What is eBay doing if not PayPal?"
They're doing it just kind of like the other platforms or whatever, right? So like you sell something and they'll like hold your money for you, and then they'll pay it out. Either you can set it to be daily or set for weekly, and it just transfers to your bank. It's better. I like it anyway because it cuts out the PayPal fees. So we were paying 2.9% PayPal fees to PayPal just to use their service, but now we don't have to do that as sellers.
Exactly. And it's nice to have, like, for me, I kind of like it personally because it's like a payday. It's nice to be nickel and dimed, and I don't mean it that way, but when you're working with so much stuff and it's some incoming so often, I oftentimes lose track, and it's nice sometimes to have the managed payments. And of course, you can request it earlier. At least I know on Etsy you can request a deposit earlier than let's just say like your Monday deposit. So
I think eventually everyone on eBay will be managed payments. I know Devin and I went on managed payments the same day. That was fun.
A very special moment for me.
It was very special, but they're like doing it in waves. So not everybody is there yet. And I feel like we were very late to the party. A lot of other people have been on it for a long time. But
yeah, I was like, well, what is this? Because I'm still having PayPal. Like,
so yeah. That was Cinnamon's question. I was confused, but thank you for asking.
Yeah. Okay, I want to make sure I don't miss any. Somebody's not okay.
What platform do you ladies find to be the best user-friendly and that you may have been successful? So like, which is the most successful but user-friendly platform? Is the Real's question.
Wow. Well, but do you have an answer for that?
Man, there's so many like caveats to it. So as far as listing something, it's super easy to list on Poshmark. There are very few fields to fill in. That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Right.
But do you really want to share your closet all day, every day, right? So,
I mean,
so I would prefer a platform where you can like list it and forget it, more like Mercari, eBay, Etsy. But eBay has a lot of listing fields. And I'd say it's probably one of the most clunky platforms as far as UI goes. User interface and user experience is, I know, look at my like software terms coming out. It's like, anyway, yeah.
yeah. I think for me, the easiest is, like you said, I'm gonna have to agree with you on that one and say Poshmark. But I want to set it and forget it. Like, I just don't want to. I don't want to deal with that. And I find oftentimes now I still cross post to Poshmark. However, maybe once a week, maybe even once a month, I'll go in and reshare my closet, send out mass offers to people. a sale, and that's a morning task. Like that's
I share. You don't want to know how often I share my closet.
How often?
At least 3 times a day.
Good for you. Now, with that being said, do you feel like you're getting the sales on it?
So I don't know. Like Poshmark, I think Poshmark also has a very specific audience. It's kind of a younger,
right,
trendy crowd, and I don't know if like all of my items are young and trendy. I don't know. So I share, but I don't make a sale every day on Poshmark. No way. I used to be very consistent, and maybe I just stopped picking up things that did well on Poshmark and they do better, or maybe they sell faster on eBay. So I never know if they'll sell on Poshmark. I don't know.
Right.
I will share. I get people that like things and I send out offers, but I don't.
Heck yeah. I do check it daily for little hearts.
Yeah.
And I'll send out offers until the cows come home, but I have like over 400 listings. I ain't about to do that. How many listings do you have on Poshmark? Not as a who's bigger kind of thing, but more as far as like time into it.
It's between 350 and 400 on Poshmark.
Okay. Killing it with 3 times a day?
Yeah, it takes so long.
That's for you, girl. Just saying.
I don't know, why I keep doing it, to be honest, because it does take a lot of time, and I don't know, like you said, am I seeing the benefit? I know what it's doing in the algorithms when I share, so that's why I keep doing it, but I'm not always making sales every day. But, sometimes you do.
And okay, I've been on the purchase end of Poshmark, didn't have a great experience.
I'm sorry.
The problem I encountered was having an issue of contacting the seller after officially accepting an order. Yeah.
It's hard to chat with people on Poshmark, unlike eBay where you can send someone a message.
Right. It wouldn't let me as I sold the silver, but I didn't test the silver as received. Yeah, I've had issues come up where I've received stuff. A lot of times it was like a mystery lot. I took the chance, but the stuff that came was doo-doo. And even after I accepted it and recorded the video of me opening it, I'm all, F this, and contacted Poshmark. Someone. I was relentless about it. And I'm not saying you weren't, Laura. I'm just saying hot crap. That's like money,
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Where else here? Okay. When I get better, I plan to resell maybe a YouTube channel. Hey. Let it set it and forget it.
I love that. That was mind-blowing to me when I started eBay. I was like, I don't have to do anything.
Yeah, it's going from literally starting with Poshmark and trying to obtain that ambassador role and realizing afterwards, there's no change.
I heard that in the past it used to be something way before I ever started selling on Poshmark. It used to give you something, and it was called something else. It was like a suggested seller or something like that.
I know, and I mean, even those are more for further episodes down the rolls. Is not home yet. Is about the differences in the rest of the platforms or whatever, and what is more available. But maybe this will spark going in and seeing, and that's a challenge for myself as well. Maybe if I do share my closet, will I get more sales this next week?
Try experiment.
Yeah. Kelly and I are going to be doing a what is it called?
Listing challenge. I like listathon though. That's pretty dope.
Just shoot. And for those of you who don't know, is we give ourselves a challenge, whether it's over a couple of days or whatever, but a number of how many we want to list on what platform. And we just try to see if it's obtainable. Not only is it going to hopefully help sales because we're putting more stuff out there, but it's an encouragement to be able to add more to our
have that support of like, keep going, we can do it, and just get it done and have someone doing it with you.
Exactly. You always like when you're doing it with somebody else.
Yeah, it's more fun. So we have that coming up probably this month. We'll probably knock that out, do a couple-day challenge on a listing challenge to get some jewelry probably posted. I'm really bad at listing jewelry. I don't know why.
And me on the opposite, I'm really bad at listing like bric-a-brac and
like hard stuff. Yeah.
Because for me, I just throw a bust up and throw a chain on it and take it here. Yeah.
I don't know why I can't do it, because it is so much easier to list jewelry than it is clothes. But like, I can't do it. So that's why I was like, I need this challenge for the motivation alone, just to get things listed.
Yes. So keep posted on that. And we're probably going to wrap up within the next couple of minutes. But if anyone has any questions, as far as, the beginning, starting out, whatever.
Let us know what you thought of this too. Is this interesting to you? Did you like watching this? Would you watch more of these? Like, we want to keep doing stuff like this, but we want to know what you guys think of this whole talking about random reseller chatting. What do you think?
Exactly. Impeccable aim. I need to get my children into sports. Gravy. Oh man, I just can't. So yeah, hopefully do it in a time where they're napping, or something, whatever. But it just goes to show that, good.
Oh my gosh, the aim though is so good.
Okay. I think it's great. Might have a series with topics. Yes, for sure. Since we don't even have a name, I wanted to include an idea, or at least, I drank the Kool-Aid girls.
I love that.
Literally.
But yeah, the goal is to have different topics kind of every time. We thought, first one, let's just call it, chat about the beginning. But we want to do different things every time. Keep it exciting.
And sticking to, the whole 1 hour, nothing that should exceed like too long. That way, if you wanted to rewatch it on 2 times speed, you can blast through it. And it, it would be fine, like a podcasty kind of thing. You can but basically, to get away with this, to learn something, take it home. Because the more we learn, the more we can share, and the more that's only going to make you some extra coin.
Yeah, and that's what we all want to do, make more money. And yeah. And I think you should say, because I did put my website up, you should tell people about your code.
I have a code. I'm so I know I was thinking for the last couple of days, because Kelly told me that she's giving me a code for her app. I really wanted to make an inventory video on how I use Thrifter Scorecard, because I've been using it for about 2 weeks now. And before I wanted to do like a video or anything, I wanted to try it out. I just didn't want to blow smoke and say, this is great because I like you. I really legitimately wanted to try it. And I talk about it with my husband all the time because it saved my inventory. Like, I can't. So I can't wait. That's going to be a video to come. But with Thrifter Scorecard, you are given a 30-day trial. And after that, it is $7.99 a month, right?
Yep.
And when you input the code Moonstone Mamas, Moonstone?
Just Moonstone.
Just Moonstone. Just
that would be like a lot.
Yeah, like Moonstone. You will get how much percent? 15. Yeah.
off.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Just didn't, I gotta perfect that before I give my spiel.
No,
What?
you're good. You're good. It's
Yeah.
like I told you about this, like in passing, like
Hey
2 days
girl, how's it going? Yeah. Code Moonstone. Yes. And considering, like List Perfectly will be a whole nother thing, which is a cross posting site, how expensive their platform is. This is just amazing. I literally cannot even the fact that it tracks and I just can't talk.
are like, you're just amazing. I'm just happy it's useful for other resellers because that was the goal, and it's like my little baby, and I just like that people are loving my baby.
My husband and I spent countless times looking through Excel sheets trying to figure out what could be the thing that could help us keep track of how much we spend on an item, how much we list it for, the shipping cost, everything. And when you said that, I have to try it. I mean, that's the thing we've been looking for, I encourage everybody to try it out. At least if you're going to be reselling, just try it out. What's the worst thing? You're a little bit more organized.
That's why, like, if you get, what was I going to say? Oh, you get like a decent, I wanted the trial to be like a decent amount of time, not just like a week or something. A month is like a good amount of time in a reselling business. You're making sales, you're buying new inventory and adding it in so you can see, how it all works for you. And yes, Deanna, it is $7.99. Yeah. So Be Real said you get the 30-day trial for free. And then it's $7.99 a month after that. But if you use Devin's code of Moonstone, you will get 15% off your first month. So it would be 15% off the $7.99. Yeah.
Which is a lot considering that it's $7.99. That's great. Like, I'm just so excited that you've given me this opportunity. I just can't.
I just love how much I love it.
And I mean, not only, there's more added benefits to the fact that it's just the inventory. That part just blows my mind. But the fact that, like Kelly said, you can look at your performance overall, what brands are selling most for you. She even added a category for me where you can see, as far as jewelry goes, bracelets, rings, necklaces. What are the things that sell the most in that category? I mean, literally. So you can focus on, okay, bracelets are up. I've listed all of my bracelets. Now I need to focus on another, you know what I mean? Like, it's just next level.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much for hanging out. Be Real. With that being said, thank you. We're probably going to be wrapping this up. The children are getting nuts. And, it's a perfect way to end. Could you explain a little bit just again, like I've never talked about this, your thrifter scorecard?
Yeah, just give a rundown of what it is real quick.
Yes,
I'll throw the link in there as well if there are any resellers that want to check it out. Basically, inventory and sales management tracking web application. I built it because I needed help. I was using Excel and kind of struggling figuring out, what was selling best for me. So I developed this and hope it's useful for other people who resell as well. So it'll track all of your inventory. And then, like Devin was just talking about, show your progress over time as far as your sales, and then analytics and different dashboards for what brands are selling best for you, categories. Sources is a new one I added, which I'm loving. So you can see which places that you're buying inventory. Are you making money off of that one source? So, you can say, I bought a lot of things for $100 and I've only made $40 so far off of that 100. So I need to make $60 more from all of these things before I break even, that kind of thing. So there's a lot of different analytics and dashboards in there to help you, but the basic backbone of it is inventory and sales tracking. Yeah.
Yes. So we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. We did it. We survived. And of course, if you're watching this on the replay, we still are interested. We challenge people to come up with helping us name this segment.
What name?
And what topics would you like to hear in the future? What things do you have questions on?
Yes.
Things along those lines. So, yeah. Thanks so much for hanging out. Thank you, Kelly, for being here with me tonight. Thanks for Thrifter's card. And thank you. We will see you hopefully sometime very soon.
That's right.
All right, guys. Catch you on the next one.
Bye, guys.